Hi everybody, Jeff over at Joker Machine. Hey, a buddy of mine just brought his bike up here, Shotgun Mike. It's a 2016 Sportster, and asked us what we thought of it. We think it's pretty neat, but I think we could do something here with the Footpegs and maybe one or two other parts. Our pegs are kind of different than everybody else's since we have a pitch adjustment and they're totally adjustable in what angle you put them at. So I thought we'll throw a set of pegs on this thing and see if it enhances it or see if the customer hates it. Okay, these are the pegs we picked for Mike. I think he's going to like them. These are a little bit different. We'll start tearing into these and get them on the bike here in just a moment. Okay, so we're getting into these pegs right now. Oh, the fun of skin packing. You can see these are basically looking like any other foot pegs when you first start looking at them, but they do have some features that are pretty good on them. Okay, now the foot pegs out of the package, you can kind of see some of the features that we offer on it. And probably the best one out of everything is this little adjuster screw here, which allows you to change the pitch of the peg. The further out you bring it, the less peg is going to go down. It's going to have a bit of an upward angle if you like that, which is pretty good on a bike like this where you get a lot of harmonics and your feet kind of work out towards the outside. This kind of takes care of that problem. We found it to be really effective. We do this in all our foot pegs and floorboards. It's just been a real go-to feature for us. Okay, same peg, we just showed you that. The second feature that makes these pretty good is we bolt them together here. Of course, the wrench I have is not working that great, but you can see once you loosen that, you can change the angle. The pegs don't need to necessarily be straight. If you have them in a forward control position, you can change the angle. Just gives you one more thing to work with, and again, just helps their ride and the comfort of your feet to be a lot nicer. Okay, first thing we're going to do is remove this foot peg. You'll need to get a pair of snap ring pliers. A small snap ring goes in the bottom of the pin here and it just slides through. So that's on the ground, the pliers are on the ground, the pin's pushed up. The shim to hold the peg straight and to put tension in it is right here. Again, just showing you this peg. No adjustment in it, you know, it's going to stay in one spot with no options of going up or down. And you know, sometimes the pegs start to sag after a while too, which then they have a downward angle on them, and that's good for nothing. But anyway, we'll be putting a peg on here in just 1 second. Okay, so we're going to install the pegs. It was just like taking off the other pegs. It's no different. Put the shim down here. This is a spring shim. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to get lined up with this hole or to get the peg to even go in, depending on how tight the shim is. Lots of times it's good to have something like this around. I guess this is a drift or a piece of metal that's spiked. And you can kind of do all your lining up with this, which makes it somewhat easier to get the pin in, because you're just asking the pin, this being the pin, to slide right in. Well, that way of doing it, it did go right in. The next thing and the last thing you'll do with these is, again, that circlip we were talking about, put it back on. Of course, I'm blind, so that might not happen. Anyway, goes right on here. I'm not going to waste time trying to put it on because I'm not at a good angle, but you can see where it goes. There's a little cutout right here, fits right into it. That's basically putting the pegs on the bike. Okay, as I was saying, I see a couple other things I want to change. I think this would look better with a black point cover on it. So I went and took, or ignition cover, cam cover, I don't know, whatever they call it these days. Obviously I had the screws already loosened. Matter of fact, I had them all the way out. So this should be a direct bolt on. It only takes a minute of your time to do. And we have these in various different styles for just about anything that you desire. So it's a simple screw-on application, providing I got it lined up right. How about if I got it half lined up right? Okay, so it's just a matter of tightening up these two screws. And that, to me anyway, maybe it's because it's got the Joker logo on it, and I'm kind of a Joker guy. But definitely enhanced it. Matches this air cleaner a lot better too. The engine being black and most of this bike being black with no color on it. Black and silver always look good. Okay, again, this is another thing he didn't ask for, but this is just kind of funky and pretty OEM looking. Not that that's bad, but it can be better. That being said, just make sure when you do this that the fluid level's correct, that you install all the gaskets in the new MC cap in the correct fashion. And we do provide the hardware for this. As you can see, it's going to be a little bit different color, but kind of cool. Everything fits in there perfectly. It's really just a matter of lining up the screws. Again, which seems to be an effort for me. And tightening the product up. It's always wise to have the handlebars in a position where the brake fluid is at the the lowest point inside the MC itself. Just stops you from having to clean up a mess afterwards if you get the bike a shake, or if you have it at the wrong angle and you take this off, it'll just pour out all over everything. So just a little hint there. Get this thing about as even as you can get it so you don't have a downhill on it. Even with that, there's a drop or two that'll come out. So as you can see, that's quite the enhancement of the stock master cylinder. At least for me it is. And hope you liked the video. Cheers. As you can see now with the Footpegs, the MC cap on there, you know, this is a little bit tighter now. And if you notice, the angle of the Footpegs is slightly up and a little bit tilted. It just felt better on the shoes that way. It'll certainly feel better going down the highway. Keep your feet from wandering. It's definitely a big improvement. Thanks again.